Hello, everyone. Thank you for spending time with us today. I hope this will be the last time that we have to give the State of the College address virtually. I do feel the light at the end of the tunnel is near and will return to in-person events in the not-too-distant future, though. The Daemen Board of Trustees continues to recruit first-rate leaders to the board. A strong governing board, such as Daemen's, ensures a strong institution. At recent meetings, the board appointed 3 new trustees. Jonathan Graves serves as a mortgage loan officer at Northwest Bank, having previously held the assistant vice president position at Five Star Mortgage and at First Niagara. Prior to this, he was a relationship development manager at Unitas. John has served as a member of the college's Community Advisory Board. He currently serves on the St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute Board of Trustees and on its Advancement Committee. He holds a master's degree in sports administration and a bachelor's degree in communication, both from Canisius College. Also joining the board is Lana Benetovich. She's the past president of the National Federation for Just Communities of Western New York, which is an organization dedicated to overcoming racism, bias, and bigotry by building a just and inclusive community. She's served on the boards of St. Bonaventure University and the Network of Religious Communities, and has also served as a commissioner on the Commission on Citizens' Rights and Community Relations for the city of Buffalo. She's a past chair of the Erie County Coordinating Council on Children and Families, and she's the past president of the Buffalo Council on World Affairs. Lana has received numerous accolades for her work in the community, including the Leadership Buffalo Inclusion Award and the Women of Distinction Honor from the Girl Scouts of Western New York. And she is a Western New York Women's Hall of Fame honoree. A Leadership Buffalo graduate, she earned a master's degree in educational psychology from Columbia University and a bachelor's degree in early childhood education from Tufts University. And finally, Alan Turner is the regional CEO of Western and Central New York for the American Red Cross. Prior to taking on this role, he served as the president and CEO of the United Way for Central Florida. Turner is a former U.S. Army reservist, where he has served as a pharmacy specialist with the 338th General Hospital Reserve Unit in Niagara Falls. A 1993 Daemen graduate, Turner earned his bachelor's degree in business administration with a specialization in marketing, and he went on to earn his master's degree in business administration at Union University in Tennessee. He has completed executive education programs on nonprofit management at Harvard Business School, Harvard Kennedy School, and the Kellogg School of Management. It's very impressive. He was a member of Daemen's National Alumni Board of Governors from 2013 to 2017, and he was honored by his alma mater with the 2011 Distinguished Alumni Award for Advancement in Career. He has also been a dedicated member of Daemen's Community Advisory Board. All 3 trustees bring substantial experience and impressive leadership to the board, so I congratulate the board for these choices. Now, while I'm introducing new members of our community, I'm pleased to announce that after a national search, Daniel Robson has been appointed Director of Institutional Communication. Daniel comes to Daemen with substantial experience at institutions of higher education, both in his current role as Assistant Director of Media Relations at Case Western Reserve University and previously at Oregon State University. He's no stranger to Western New York, having served as a reporter and a producer with local NPR station WBFO. He earned a BA in history from the University of Evansville and an MA from Indiana University, and he's working on an MBA from Case Western. Relocating to the area from Cleveland, Daniel and his wife Rachel, who is a Southtown native, are excited to return to Western New York, and we're equally excited to have them join our college community. So please help me welcome him to Daemen when you can. I'd like now to recognize faculty who this year have obtained board approval for tenure or promotion. There are 9 candidates. The first is Dr. Greg Ford. He's an associate professor of physical therapy, and he has been promoted to professor. Next is Gregory Chica. He's an assistant professor of physician assistant studies. He has been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. Next is Dr. Rochelle Lazunik. She is an assistant professor of education. She's been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. Next is Dr. Shannon Lupien. She is an assistant professor of psychology, and she has been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. Next is Dr. Whitney Mendel. She's an assistant professor of public health, and she's been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. Next is Dr. Deborah Napolitano. She's an assistant professor of applied behavior analysis. She's been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. Next is Dr. Heike Peckrun. She's an assistant professor of philosophy and religious studies and has been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. Next is Dr. Dennis Popso. He's an assistant professor of psychology and has been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. And finally is Dr. Jennifer Scheid. She's an assistant professor of health promotion and physical therapy. She's been granted tenure and promoted to associate professor. Now, these promotions take effect with the start of the 2021-22 academic year. I hope you'll take the time to congratulate these colleagues on their tremendous achievement. At its September meeting, the Daemen Board of Trustees approved emeritus status for 4 distinguished faculty members who have been recently retired. Dennis Barraclaw, Professor of Art, Dr. William DePietro, Professor of Economics, Dr. Denise Mills, Professor of Spanish, and Dr. Kathleen Murphy, Professor of Chemistry. Now, emeritus status is an honor bestowed on a faculty member who has brought distinction to Daemen through outstanding service and special accomplishments. With this new designation, each emeritus faculty member will be eligible for possible appointment to the college's Emeritus Faculty Advisory Board, where he or she would have the opportunity to provide expert counsel to the college on several key institutional topics. Congratulations to all 4. I'm happy to report that we're thriving despite the numerous challenges of the pandemic. Our many measures to protect the college's community's health and safety during the pandemic have been a great success. Throughout the pandemic and to this day, the Amherst campus maintained a positivity rate of well under 0.5%. Now, this is an exemplary model for safety, and we should all be proud of it. And continuing with our pattern of being ahead of the curve when it comes to managing the pandemic, Daemen is the first private college in Western New York to get a private vaccination clinic on its campus. The college partnered with the Erie County Department of Health at the end of March to vaccinate 300 individuals. The dedicated members of our emergency response team and several faculty and staff volunteers made this clinic a really big success. Currently, 897 community members are at some level of vaccination, and 481 of those are fully vaccinated. This is an exciting progress as we near what we hope is the end of this pandemic. And our crisis mode has not affected the quality of our education either. Our Office of Institutional Research conducted a comparison of the grade distribution at the college from the fall 2019 and the fall 2020, and that indicated that there was very little change in grade distribution from one term to the next. These results demonstrate that we have been able to maintain our academic rigor and integrity despite the challenges of the ongoing pandemic, while ensuring that our students achieve a high level of academic success. These data clearly demonstrate what a great job our faculty are doing during this time of crisis. Another encouraging update related to the pandemic is that the college awarded more than $2.1 million from the Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund allocation to over 1,000 students. We're delighted to be able to assist our neediest students during this difficult time. And as you'll recall from the previous State of the College address, the pandemic served as the last straw for many institutions financially. Locally, we all read about several nearby colleges experiencing serious financial problems exacerbated by the pandemic. I reported about extensive layoffs and/or furloughs at Canisius, DeUville, and some of the other local colleges. There was a great deal of panic in the air, and for example, the Board of Trustees at Medaille declared financial exigency, which is typically a last gasp measure and one that allows the institution to terminate tenured faculty. At Daemen, we've been fortunate. Throughout this entire pandemic, we have not had to furlough or lay off any faculty or staff. We kept everyone on the payroll. In fact, we were able to announce a modest retroactive salary increase for all faculty and staff, undoubtedly the only college to do so in this region. Now, this is a testament to the strong leadership of Vice President Rood, as well as the fiscal responsibility exhibited literally by everyone this last year. Despite the challenges that all colleges are facing due to demographics and now the pandemic, we continue to be cautiously optimistic about our student enrollment for this coming fall term. We have not been able to travel, recruit in high schools, or attend recruitment fairs, so recruiting students has been a monumental challenge. Nevertheless, the great work from our enrollment management team, in conjunction with our marketing professionals and our admissions experts, and by leveraging partners with digital connections to students, we have reimagined our enrollment process to accommodate these challenges. While overall applications are on par with where they were last year, the overall number of completed applications is up, and so are acceptances. And as of today, deposits for new undergraduates, transfer students, and graduate students are all ahead of where they were this time last year. This is very encouraging, and we believe we may be able to reach our budget goals for the coming year. And the pandemic hasn't stopped our forward momentum on a number of fronts. Thanks to our continued partnership with our dining provider, the college utilized the downtime due to COVID to complete a partial renovation of the dining hall. The first phase improved counters and serving areas, electrical and plumbing, the sound system and dining equipment, as well as general aesthetics. Next summer, we'll continue with ceiling aesthetics and improvements to aid in food preparation. And earlier this year, we sponsored a special virtual ribbon cutting ceremony to officially unveil the college's new state-of-the-art simulation center, which is designed to educate students using real-life clinical experiences and to serve as a resource for professional development. The center is located in the RIC and is a replica of a modern health clinic. The facility houses 8 examination rooms, a counseling room, and space for telehealth, telecounseling, and face-to-face interprofessional learning experiences. I've mentioned a number of times the college's unprecedentedly strong partnership with the town of Amherst, and I'm pleased to report another example of this collaborative relationship. In February, the State of the Town address was produced and streamed live from the 3rd floor of the RIC. Town leadership had been so impressed with the college's production of its virtual commencement ceremonies that when the time came to produce their own virtual event, Daemen was top of mind. Our creative team partnered with the town to produce this live-streamed event via YouTube. In addition to the State of the Town address, the 2021 board members of the Amherst Chamber of Commerce were installed by newly elected State Senator Edward Rath. Now, this live-streamed event is one of many successful partnerships between the college and the town. Over the last several years, the college and the town have engaged in collaborative projects that enhance both the college and the local community. And one such example is Daemen's 22 for 22 campaign in conjunction with the town's Million Tree Challenge, which is helping to plant new trees throughout Amherst. In November, the Board of Trustees approved the 2020 to 2025 strategic plan, a shared vision, Daemen's emerging national distinction. This was a successful collaborative effort that clearly articulates the college's bright future. As you know, the college has experienced substantial momentum over the last several years, driven in part by our ambitious strategic plan. Now, moving forward, this new plan will guide the college through the next 5 years as we continue to solidify our national recognition as an institution of academic excellence. I want to recognize the hard work of the steering committee, the subcommittees, and everyone in our community who participated in this important process. You should be proud of what you accomplished despite an ongoing and unprecedented pandemic. Following the release of the strategic plan was the unveiling of the accompanying new facilities master plan, Building Daemen's Future. That plan builds on the framework laid out by the new strategic plan with a view toward the next 5 years of priorities. The creation of this plan coincided with the development of the new strategic plan to ensure the cohesive articulation of the college's priorities. Overall, from 2015 to 2020, the college added over $18 million in improvements and property acquisition, demonstrated tremendous momentum in its efforts to elevate Daemen as a college of distinction. I would also like to recognize the hard work of the steering committee, subcommittees, and everyone else in our community who participated in this important process as well. The ambitious blueprint outlined by these new plans will help continue to move the college forward. We have some very positive news from Daemen Athletics. Every week for well over a month of regular season play, our women's basketball team was ranked as one of the best Division II teams in the nation. They were ranked as high as 8th in the country, and the team finished the regular season with perfect 9-0 record in East Coast Conference games. This marks the third time in the program's history that the team has achieved an undefeated regular season, and it's the first time that this has been accomplished during the program's NCAA era. Both the women's team and the men's team won berths in NCAA's March Madness tournaments, and both progressed as far as the Elite Eight. That's really incredible. This is a real testament to the strength of our athletics program and the leadership of our athletics director, Tracy Murphy, and to our head coaches, Jennifer Banker and Mike McDonald. So congratulations to them all. Also, one of our women's basketball athletes, Caroline White, was named the East Coast Conference's Women's Basketball Player of the Year. And one of our men's basketball athletes, Andrew Sisko, was named the East Coast Conference's Men's Basketball Player of the Year. In addition to this tremendous honor, by the way, Sisko has had quite a banner year. He became an all-time leading scorer in the history of our men's basketball program, surpassing the record of 1,962 points. And he became the first player in program history and only the second player in East Coast Conference history to reach 2,000 career points and 1,000 career rebounds. Being named Player of the Year is quite an accomplishment for our two athletes and a tribute to them both. And to top things off in athletics, our women's basketball coach, Jennifer Baker, was named ECC Coach of the Year. Altogether, 9 Daemen individuals won the league's highest season awards. I'm especially pleased, though, that a new academic performance report shows that our student athletes as a whole in the fall 2020 semester earned a GPA of 3.25 collectively. 14 of 15 teams earned a 3.0 or higher. Now, one of the advantages of being an NCAA Division II institution is that the core value is excellence in both academics and athletics. And in fact, in recognition of this strong academic performance of our student athletes, the college won the 2020 NCAA Division II President's Award for Academic Excellence, which is awarded to an institution whose student athletes have the academic success rate of 90% or higher. I'm delighted to report that the college continues to generate substantial regional and national visibility. For the second consecutive year, the college has been ranked among the best universities in the country in the 2021 U.S. News and World Report's prestigious Best Colleges rankings. Institutions in the National Universities category offer a full range of undergraduate majors, plus master's and doctoral programs. These colleges are also committed to producing groundbreaking research. Daemen is ranked number 135 among national universities. The report also included Daemen in its special social mobility category. This category measures how well institutions graduate students who have received Pell Grants. On the 2021 list, Daemen is number 17 among national universities ranked in New York State and is one of only 2 private colleges in the Buffalo-Niagara region from across the state listed in the top 20 for social mobility. Also, Money Magazine has ranked Daemen as one of the best colleges in America for educational quality, affordability, and student outcomes. Daemen's selection for the recently released list includes 739 of the top colleges and universities in the country, including prestigious institutions such as Yale, Middlebury College, Temple, Drake, and Siena College. Daemen is only one of only 5 private institutions in the Buffalo-Niagara region named on the 2020 list. Rankings are based on 27 measures in the areas of quality of education, affordability, and outcomes. And data on selected colleges was based on information from the U.S. Department of Education's, Peterson's, and Payscale.com. Among private New York State colleges, Daemen is listed as one of the most affordable places, placing number 6 for estimated price with average grants factored into attendance. And for the 5th consecutive year, Daemen has been ranked nationally in the prestigious Wall Street Journal Times Higher Education College rankings. Daemen is one of only 3 private colleges in the Buffalo-Niagara region named to the 2021 list. In these rankings, Daemen excelled for the 4th time in the area of engagement, which measures student interaction with teachers, student recommendations for the college, overall student engagement, and the number of accredited programs. And for the 12th consecutive year, Daemen has been named a military-friendly school, a designation identifying the best colleges in the country for veterans. The 2021-22 Military-Friendly Schools distinction is awarded in recognition of an institution's commitment and of efforts to help veterans make the transition from military life to college and successful careers. Institutions are evaluated using public data sources, survey responses from participating institutions, and student survey information. Final ratings are based on student retention and graduation rate, job placement and loan repayment, and default rates, degree advancement, and other data. And I'm pleased to report that the college has recently ranked a 2022 U.S. News Best Graduate School in Nursing. The rankings assess hundreds of schools of nursing master programs and their research activity, faculty resources, student excellence, and qualitative ratings. This is another important national distinction for the college, and I want to congratulate our nursing faculty under the leadership of Dr. Cheryl Nosek. Well done. And here's an unusual indication of being ahead of most colleges nationally. The college was just notified that the official 2017 three-year loan default rate is only 3.7%, which is significantly below the national average of 9.7%. Another national distinction, and I have to say a welcome one at that. And Dr. Diane Bessel, chair of the Sociology and Social Work Department, was recently named 2020's Social Worker of the Year by the New York State chapter of the National Association of Social Workers. Now, this prestigious award recognizes the contributions of outstanding individuals making a difference in New York State who have also demonstrated commitment to social work values. Dr. Bessel has led and supported efforts to address a wide range of social issues, including homelessness, poverty, family violence, and human trafficking. So congratulations to Dr. Bessel. And our Assistant Director of Diversity and Inclusion, Daisha Moorman, was recently named as an honoree for the Changemakers 30 Under 30 Awards. This award is presented by the Cruz Group and the S&J Foundation and honors some of Western New York's most prolific and dynamic young professionals. As Assistant Director of Diversity and Inclusion, Daisha is responsible for developing diverse and inclusive programs and overseeing heritage and cultural months. So as you can see, this is a great deal of progress despite the challenges of the pandemic, and each of us should be very proud of all we did during this unprecedented academic year. Now, this ends the formal spring State of the College address. I'd now like to turn to my favorite part of the agenda, which is the presentation of this year's Outstanding Faculty and Staff Awards. Each year, the college recognizes one faculty member, one staff member, and one administrator as the year's most outstanding members of the Daemen community. Each of the three awardees receives a cash prize of $1,500. Let's begin with the Outstanding Staff Award. As with the two other award committees, the Staff Award Committee was composed of accomplished individuals who have received the award in the past 5 years. Please help me thank the committee for all their hard work in helping to choose a winner. Our staff recipient has been described by nominees as someone who is always conscientious, dedicated, and supportive. The recipient is a problem solver, is kind, always courteous, and clearly takes pride in helping others. Our awardee never hesitates to help solve a problem, is a hard worker, and is always kind and thoughtful. The recipient has been an integral part of our hardworking facilities team. The recipient of the 2021 Outstanding Staff Award is none other than Mr. Kenny Witkowski. Congratulations to Ken. Next is the 2021 Outstanding Administrator Award. Please help me thank the committee for their hard work in helping to choose a winner. According to the committee, the recipient always goes above and beyond in all duties and always has a smile and a positive attitude. A professional and a dedicated employee, the recipient is a creative thinker and seems to work around the clock. By all accounts, this recipient does not hesitate to take on difficult challenges and works hard to solve problems. The nominator writes that this recipient is reliable almost to a fault, hardworking, and trustworthy. The recipient of the 2021 Outstanding Administrator Award is the one and only Miss Ann Kelly. Our third and final award is the 2021 Outstanding Faculty Award. Please help me thank the committee members for their hard work in helping to choose a winner. The awardee is a dedicated teacher who always puts students' needs first. As such, this professional consistently receives glowing feedback from students. The recipient goes above and beyond to be there for students, is always accessible, and builds genuine connections with them. The committee considered this awardee to be an unsung hero always doing much more than ever expected or imagined. As such, the recipient greatly enhances the student experience and is always volunteering for events and initiatives to advance the college. It was also noted that this recipient contributes extensive data to the department assessment and to the Title III initiatives. It's with great pleasure that I announce that the recipient of the 2021 Outstanding Faculty Award is Mr. Derek Schwartz. Congratulations to all three of this year's outstanding faculty and staff. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for spending time here today and for everything you do every day to make our great college such a special place.